So the Dodgers made another move. They signed Teoscar Hernández for $23 some odd million for one season. So they had another right-handed bat, another outfielder. And before we even had an opportunity to be sad about it, you had sent me a text and you go, you didn't say it this way, but you basically sent me some information that was like, well, guess who's better than Teoscar Hernández? His name is the Yasmanian Devil, Mike Yastrzemski.
Baby Yaz. Yeah, we got our. You don't need Teoscar Hernández. Of course, I'd love to have him on my team, but you don't need to have him because if you've got a guy like Mikey Yaz, right, Baby Yaz, he has a lifetime 114 OPS plus. Teoscar Hernández lifetime OPS plus 118, only 4 better. Last year, Baby Yaz 113 OPS plus. Last year, Teoscar Hernández 106 OPS plus. I know it was in Seattle. Don't give me this about Seattle's stadium and all this other nonsense. I think he only had 2 months in the entire season last year where he had an OPS of like above 800. All the rest, it was just kind of like garbage the rest of the season. Of course, he does pound lefties. That's what he does as a right-handed hitter. But again, when you have a guy like Baby Yaz who's also has MVP votes, Teoscar Hernández, he did have some MVP votes. We'll give him that, 2020 and 2021. But again, that was in Toronto. Now he's over in the National League. Never seen National League pitching before, other than in interleague games, but he's mostly an American League player. Baby Yaz had a OPS plus in 2019 of 122, 2020, 164 when he had his MVP votes. Last year, 15 bombs. Teoscar Hernández, he had 26. But again, those were on the road. That was not at home in Seattle. So bottom line is, when you have a guy like Baby Yaz, you don't need a guy like Teoscar Hernández. That's just a filler for your lineup. We got to go out and get other guys, other outfielders, because see, that's the thing. That's going to be their big outfield pickup. Mm-hmm. Ours is going to be Bellinger. And Bellinger's going to hit 40 bombs and hit 332 on the season. When's the last time we had a guy? When was the last time we had a guy other than Buster who finished like top 10 in batting?
It had to be in Bonds, probably, when he won. Won the batting title.
Yeah, that's probably it, because I think Tyro was threatening like the first half of the season last year.
He fell off a little bit.
Yeah, fell off, got hurt, all that good stuff. So anyways, we have our own Teoscar Hernández. His name is Baby Yaz, and I guarantee you he has a better season than Teoscar does.
Guaranteed.
Wow. It's got to get enough at bats, though. That's the problem.
It's pretty big. I want to say there was the season that we were talking about with Scudero. He came to the Giants and he hit 360 in the 268 ABs after they traded for him. But he had only hit 271 in Colorado. I wonder how close he was in the batting title that year. That would be interesting to go back and look at. I don't know.
What was that? 2004?
2012.
Oh, 2012. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that might be, he might have been in the top 10. 2014.
I'm thinking of infielders. 2010 was the year of Jonathan Sanchez. 2012 was the year of Scudero. 2014 was the year of Little Joe Panic.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right. So one other note about Yastrzemski, and people are thinking like, oh, Brad's throwing all these numbers, and what does these numbers really mean? And do you have to know all these analytics to follow this stuff? Well, we can even use some simple ones, such as WAR. He had Hernandez had a 2.1 WAR last year. Yastrzemski had a 2.4 WAR. In Hernandez almost had double the ABs of Yastrzemski, but he only hit 11 more home runs. When it comes to on base percentage, Yaz was at 330, Hernandez was at 305. Slugging percentage, Yaz was even a tick higher at 445 versus 435. So while we are selecting specific statistics to make Yaz look a little bit better, maybe than most people will look at him, you can even look at the common stats, the back of the baseball card stats, and see that he's a very comparable player. He doesn't have the reputation because he wasn't a top prospect like Hernandez was when he was younger. Going up through that Blue Jay farm system in 2016 or whenever it was. And, Yaz was a guy who was just through the minors, constantly grinding. But the other thing that I like, and this, I may like this one the best, Hernandez cost $23 million, and Baby Yaz is going to play for $7 million this year. So, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah, because I think Teoscar was like slated to be around 15, 16 a year for like 3 years or whatever, and then he was like, "Well, I can go to the Dodgers," and of course, they can defer my payments because who likes to get paid up front? Who likes to get paid all their money at once, right? So he's deferring $8 million of that. So he's technically playing for the $15 million. But again, the deferment doesn't start until 2030. So I don't know what this magic number of things starting in 2030, 2031, 32, 33 is for the Dodgers, other than there has to be some sort of financial comparison that says in 10 years, when we start paying him his extra $8 million, it's really only in today's dollars, like $4 million, $3 million. So we're still getting him at a discount lower than the price that you're seeing. But yeah, I don't even claim to try to be a financial guy. So
yeah, I think it's just about making the interest on that money. And then when you actually do have to pay that guy, then you're probably paying a lot of it is just interest.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So that'll be it from here. We will be back next week, and hopefully we'll have some news with more signings and maybe hopefully some bad. Can the Dodgers have some bad news? Can we get bad news on the Dodgers? Like,
yeah, well, obviously we don't want to wish the bad news to be injuries.
Right.
But maybe like, I don't know, they found out all of this money that they're promising people was like drug money or something. I don't know. Maybe we could do that. Yes.
This was a good one from more Katna, who's watching. Very much appreciate you. Yaz will defer his batting average. That was a good one.
Yes, he will. He will. He'll hit 330 this year, but he'll defer 130 of that until 2030. So he'll really hit 200. Poor.
I say, Friedman. Can Friedman get the chicken pox or something like?
Shingles. He's old enough for shingles, right?
Yeah, it's not.
I shouldn't say that. I haven't gotten my shingles shot yet, so I shouldn't say
that's
that.
bad karma. We shouldn't say that.
No.
Maybe plantar fasciitis.
There you go.
You can live. You're fine. Yeah.
It's painful, but you can still do everything.
Yeah, Friedman gets a little plantar fasciitis injury and is walking around with a limp.
He's not an NFL running back, so it's not like he doesn't need his plantar or his fasciitis.